Hello and good morning. It is Monday, October the 3rd, and I'm so glad to have you guys here with us. Today we are going to be reading through Jeremiah chapter 11 and 13 and 2 Corinthians chapter 12. And I would like to take a moment to just take a look at 2 Corinthians chapter 12, because here we see some cool things of Paul and him talking to the Corinthians. And one of them is he talks about boasting and how he will boast about other people and the cool and awesome things that they are doing for God, but he will never boast about himself, and that he is content in weakness and the things going on in his life. And for a long time that confused me, because I can understand wanting to brag on someone else, being like, hey, check out what so-and-so is so cool, like what Keenan does for the church is so cool, and how he makes all these videos and does all the setting. It's so cool and awesome, because I could never do that. But then I can never understand why it's not okay to then brag about, like, look at all the cool things I do for the kids. And it confused me for years about what the difference is there. And it's one thing to be talking about how cool what someone else is doing for the kingdom of God and inflating your own ego and bragging about the things you do. And that's where the heart difference is there, is you are giving praise and showing love to someone for what they do, but when you are just sitting there inflating your own ego, it can cause you to have pride and stumble and sin. And so that is what Paul is talking about in this little section of 2 Corinthians, is he is talking about how he no longer brags on himself, because that gives him the temptation to fall to pride and to not actually be speaking words that are for God and what he is about. And so that's why Paul has a thorn in his side. He has things that cause him issues. It's the reason why he no longer boasts about the things he's going to do. And that's a hard thing to do sometimes, because you want people to give you acknowledgement for the things that you've done. You want people to see and know the things that you are doing for the kingdom. And that can be hard sometimes, to take that step back and go, no, I am not gonna brag about this publicly to everyone and anyone who will listen. I'm going to just do these things for the kingdom, and they will be known by God, and they might be known by others. And that was a hard thing for myself to do, and it might be a hard thing for you to do. So if you are struggling with bragging about things that you do in life, whether it be for God or work or in your family or even just amongst your friends, take some time and think of if that is something you struggle with. And if it is, start doing your best to start slowly cutting back on that, because it isn't what God calls us to do, and we need to be content with doing things for the kingdom and knowing that God will see it. But church, until next time, you are sent.